And we are live.
What's up, everyone?
We got a special guest tonight. Greeno, you can do the honors, brother.
Aaron, Metal Theologian, be our first guest.
Well, shit, it's an honor.
No idea what we're going to do here, but we'll go for it.
Yeah.
So this is the third show, I guess, here, and
we were going to do one last week, but I had the flu, and
same here, man.
Yeah, you weren't feeling so hot either.
Yeah,
that could have been entertaining.
Yeah,
I would have sucked. But if it were good, it would have been really good.
Well, I slept for, I think me and my wife had it at the same time. I think it was New Year's Eve into New Year's Day. We slept over 24 straight hours.
Holy shit.
Wow.
And I thought kids were messing with us when they were trying to tell us it was New Year's Day. We're like, okay, sure it is.
Yeah, the wife and I both had it at the same time. She had it first and then passed it to me, and we just had it for like a week, man, going from Christmas into New Year's. Not to where we were completely down, but
right.
Felt like shit, you know.
Nah, we were down.
Anyways, other than being sick, everybody have a nice holiday.
Yeah, man. I mean, I just stayed around. Kind of talked to my last video about Spencer going to Alaska, but he's up there right now.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
It really is. It's kind of my big news. I mean, it's not really my news, so it's a little weird, but it's a weird thing, man. I mean, your kids are older, but
yeah, that's a long way from home, man.
Yeah, you know, another friend of mine said that this was sort of like seeing him off to school was one thing, but this is sort of like seeing him off to be a man.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you know, I think that's pretty apt because it hit me pretty hard for some reason. So I was kind of depressed for a couple of days after he left, but it's good. I'm glad we made a video together because it had been a long time and people ask about him. So that was fun to do.
Was that the cooking video?
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome, man. Did you see that, George?
I did.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty hardcore.
Could you even taste the donut? You had so much meat on it.
Barely. You know, I mean, there's like some extra sugar in there, you know, for sure. You could tell, like, let's put it this way, man. I made one again. I made burgers the other day because I was kind of wanting a regular burger after that. It was just so much, you know.
Right.
Like no bacon this time and just a bun. So.
Well, that's cool. He's up in Alaska. I was telling my wife that he was heading out there, and we got talking about it, and it reminded me of one time the wife and two daughters were in California all at the same time, and I was here at home. That was weird for me because they were like all the way across the country, and I had like an uneasy feeling the whole time they were going. You know what I mean? Hadn't been that separated.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was like my wife, her company just got bought out. So right before Christmas, so she was kind of, you know, anxious and worried, but since then has found a new job. She has to finish out until February with her old job. But
that's cool.
We've been talking more and more about traveling because the kids are getting older and stuff. And I know me with Mike, like my oldest went to college 3 years ago now. He's been working full time since May now. He graduated in 3 years.
Oh, I thought yours were younger than that, man.
What's that?
I thought yours were younger than that. I didn't realize you had one.
Yeah, I got two others, the twins, 14-year-old twins, but yeah, he's going to be 22 next month. So,
wow,
yeah, it's crazy. But it's like the older I get, and I'm sure it's like this with everybody. The older you get, the more time flies. It's like I just blinked and already he's 20. You know, I was having his first drink with him. Well, his first legal drink with him at the bar across the street. So,
yeah, Corey just joined. I don't know if y'all are looking at the chat, but
I just saw him pop up. What's going on, bro?
You know what's funny? Actually, I was talking about that with my wife. It's funny. There's like the old man group instead of like fucking metal here, but I guess it's comes to the turf. Yeah, I was talking about that with my wife. It's like looking back, like the last 20 years, it doesn't really feel like a blink. It feels like about 20 years. So I don't know. I mean,
to you,
yeah, I guess I don't know another way for 20 years to feel, you know?
Well, if it's I think the first 20 years of life, you don't remember the first 4 years of your life, maybe 3 years. It's funny. But from that age to 20 seems like forever, I think. 20 to 40, that's like a blink of an eye, I thought.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like I started dating my wife when I was 21 or 20. We got married when I was 24, had Mike when I was 28. You know, now I'm 48 and it's like I'm gonna be 50 in a couple of years. I'm like, holy shit, man, how did that happen?
I know what you're saying there, Aaron, because like we've been in this house for 13 years,
and
it seems like we've been here together forever. But at the same time, it seems like we just moved in. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, how about this? I originally moved into this house in 1986.
Wow.
My mother bought it with her second husband.
Oh,
that's amazing.
Yeah. And after we got married, and even after we had Mike, they got divorced probably, I don't know. The house, put it this way, the house was empty for like 4 years.
Wow.
My mom would ask me, you want to rent the house from us? I'm like, nope. Because I knew what was going to happen. But then we had Mike, and we had gotten a townhouse, and my wife got a new job down towards this side, back towards this side of the state. So we came back, and we were living in like a 2-bedroom apartment with the little kid and the baby. And my mom comes up and she's like, you guys want to rent the house? My wife's like, yes. And I'm like, oh. So long story short, we had to end up buying the house less than a year after we moved in.
That's cool.
No, it wasn't, because that was exactly what I told her would happen. Like, you do know, once we're all moved in and everything's cool, they're going to come back and go, we got to sell the house.
Yeah.
And then this is the third time we've moved in a year. I don't want to move again. But
I hope you got a decent deal.
We've been here 20 years now.
Wow.
This is our 20th year in the house.
Wow.
Together is with the baby, well, with Mike, and then the babies later on. But this is I think I was only out of here when did I turn 18? 80, 89, 88, 88. I was out of here and didn't move back in until me and my wife did. But yeah, the minute I turned, I think 17, I was gone. I hit the road.
Well, I guess we should talk about some music instead of old man stuff.
Yeah, man.
So what's going on? I saw you got a bunch of Romanian albums. Is that what you got in?
That's what he said.
Yeah, I mean, a few. It's
what the hell?
I mean, I kind of just checked them out. It's one of those things. I mean, wasn't completely blind. Like, before I order something from Romania, I'll give it a quick listen and sort of check it out. But it's still just more fun to get the things in the mail and go, oh, okay, this is fresh. You know what I mean? So yeah, let me grab these bad boys. Hang on a sec.
All right.
They're right here. Oh, I've got another one too, actually.
John's record.
Looks like a ghost is rocking his chair.
Yeah.
What's up, John?
Hey, man. All right, so this one I haven't actually even played yet, so I can't even say anything about it, but this cover kind of sold me on it. I mean, look at that. Can you see that shit?
Yeah, it's killing. So now, are everything you picked up like full on metal, or are you getting some like?
Yeah, this is all metal. This shit's all metal.
Cool. How the hell did you come across this? Somebody online, I assume.
Yeah, I think I read about one or two of these on the Colosseum site, actually, which is probably the best site for this sort of thing,
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I don't know. And then I just started clicking around. I don't know, man. It just sort of happens,
That's how it works.
Yeah, it really is. You just sort of organic, you're just sort of looking around. This one's interesting, man. Here, actually, can you see that? Or no, there's too much reflection. Yeah, this is the first Basque metal band that I've come across. You see that? Huh?
What year is that?
It's like 90-ish, maybe 91, something like that.
So
but it has that like old style sound,
Is all this stuff like late 80s, early 90s kind of stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, still in the sweet spot there. Again, like after getting into, well, first the Jesus shit, right? And then the Soviet stuff, like I've kind of gone more into like the 90s than I ever did before, just because, I don't know, there's delayed response there or something, you know what I mean? You still get that same sound.
Mm-hmm.
So, so this one's a little bit late too, but it's not like late. So I think Renee actually talked about this one not too long ago. Because, they're from Spain, this band, right?
Oh, okay.
But, but I was like, but it's not Spanish, they sing in Basque. Like, it's just like one of the weirdest languages on the fucking planet. Yeah, and then this is another Romanian one. And then I'll let someone else talk for a minute.
That's
I
remember you showing that. I dig that.
It's like, what else do you need to know? I mean, that's perfect.
How could you not grab that? If that was in front of me, that would be coming home with me.
Yeah.
Really. Look at these guys.
Oh, shit.
Hell yeah.
So fucking primitive, too. It's like it's flimsy ass cover. Shit. They gotta love it, though, man.
Now, what do those guys sound like? They actually kind of look like it may be a touch of Greeno music.
Maybe a touch, but more like sort of what they do is when they're not doing the straight ahead metal, which is like my favorite thing, is they do like more like sort of the anthem type shit.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's that more than like, something that's actually glammy or, sort of poppy,
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it's pretty traditional for sure. So, yeah, what a great cover though, man. This is like.
Yeah, I like that. It's pretty cool.
Somebody's asking if that's traditional metal.
Yeah, it's traditional. That's about 92, actually. This was later than I realized.
Huh.
There you go.
That's cool, man. So you've been spending that stuff all week, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah, pretty much.
Right on.
Yeah. And I've been listening to that sort of dorky 90s shit, too, that I was talking about in my last video, like the Spacemen 3 and shit like that. Like I listened to a Ride record.
You cracked me up. You've had like a crazy year. I mean, you did the rap thing for a while, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on over there?
Yeah.
So, well, I haven't really picked anything up this week. I pulled out a couple things to listen to. I don't know if anybody's ever heard Hellhound, Japanese. This is like 2006. Tokyo Flying V Massacre. I think this was the first album, but I came across these dudes like right when this first came out. I got it on vinyl, and they're so fucking metal. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like every song title is Metal Attack, Metal Zone, Metal Assassin, 666, Heavy Metal Patrol, Metal Warrior, Heavy Metal Generation. It's just like metal, but it's great. And plus, me with the Japanese stuff, I like the Japanese. So.
Yeah.
I think I have that on CD.
Yeah, it's like that came out in like 06, but this came out 2016. Who was it? Diabolic Night put it out, I guess, for the 10-year, and they did their second album too, which isn't quite as good. And they may have a third one, but I've never heard that one. And I came across this, man. A Crew bootleg from 82. I got this.
Yeah, that one I have that too, but it's not. That one looks a little different. What's the back look like? Is the logo red on the front or is it yellow?
Yellow.
Okay, I got a red one, I think.
Really? This is on Nicotine Kicks from 2019.
Oh no, I don't have that one's different then.
They, how they do. 6 different labels do the same show. But it was cool to find an old show that, you know, from that era.
Well, that's a great show. That I mean, that early Motley stuff to me is always my favorite. So
yeah, definitely. Like you know, first two, of course.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Theater of Pain. I don't even remember liking that record when I was young, but and then Home Sweet Home hit, and I hated it even more. So
yeah, it was that was the first time I saw them. It was on Theater of Pain, just to be able to see them. You know what I mean? Loudness opening up, especially. But Loudness.
Oh, awesome.
But
Loudness open for AC/DC.
That's cool.
86, I think.
Really? So that was on the not Thunder in the East. What was the next one?
That would have been Hurricane Eyes tour.
Okay. Yep. I think it was Thunder in the East when I saw him for 83, 4, somewhere around in there. 84, I guess.
Yeah, probably. Yep.
But yeah, but man, that album was such a left turn. You know what I mean? From the first two. You know what I mean?
Which one? Crazy Night.
Pain.
Oh, you're still on Molly. Yeah, I know that. It almost sounded like demos.
Yeah, they lost me from there on. Even the big albums after that, yeah, it's like nah.
Yeah, I mean, I love Feel Good. I thought that was a good record, and I think other than Too Fast for Love is my favorite Motley record, but the John Corabi album.
I've never heard that one too much.
Dude, that record, that's one of my favorite Motley records. It's a shame they called it Motley, you know.
Yeah.
I think it would have been a lot bigger if they didn't call it Motley Crue, but whatever. It's just a great record.
What did you say, Aaron? You didn't come through there.
It's that like Theater of Pain is when I first became aware of them, when I like knew people who were into them and shit like that. Mm-hmm. And I wanted nothing to do with that shit. That actually kept me away from them for a long time.
I totally see that. And you know what?
Yep.
That's a good statement right there, because we kind of talked about this, where we kind of jump on bands. Yeah. And that's interesting. You kind of jumped on them, Theater of Pain. You know what I mean?
Well, he that made him stay away from him.
Right. And that was the wrong one kind of to jump onto, really. For me,
absolutely. Yeah.
For me, it was Shout at the Devil, because I remember that when that album first came out, they were like pushing them on MTV. And I remember seeing the videos and all that, and the outfits and the music. It was like, God, these guys are great. And then went back and got the first album and loved them. And then Theater of Pain come out, and it's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? What happened here?
That was terrible.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I knew Smoking in the Boys' Room, which not a lot of people knew that was a cover like my friends did. Mm-hmm. But I knew it was a cover because I was a huge Brownsville Station fan. I still am, but so when I heard that, I'm like, I can't believe they're releasing this cover as the first single. Like, who does? You know, not too many. That's not a smart move to release a cover, unless I guess because Quiet Riot did it.
I was just getting ready to say, you got to think of the era with Quiet Riot and all that shit.
It just didn't seem right to me. Like, why release it? And then all of a sudden, it was huge, and that's a great song. I'm like, yeah, the song's at that time was 12 years old. You know, it was only about 12 years old, but
12.
Yeah, because if you think about it, 85 was Theater of Pain. Brownsville Station was like 73, 74, 75.
Hey, Aaron, I think your audio is not coming through too much. I don't know if you're
really.
Yeah, you're kind of muffled a little bit.
Shit.
There, it's not too bad. When you got closer to the computer, it was a little bit better.
How's this? I don't even fucking know where the mic is on this thing.
So did you ever jump back on to Motley Crue, Aaron?
I mean, eventually. I'm trying to think of when that might have been. Oh, you know something? I know exactly when it was. This is fucking stupid. This was like when I was living in San Francisco. It was like like 97 or 98, maybe something like that. Mm-hmm. And like I'd had my hair long for like a lot of years, and I was kind of tired of it, and I was getting it cut off. It was down like my waist, right? I was getting it cut off, and there was a record store next door to the place where I was getting my hair cut, and they had a copy of Too Fast for Love. I was like, if I'm ever going to buy this record, this just seems like the right time.
Yeah.
So I did.
And what year was that? Like 97, you said?
Like 97-ish, something like that. So yeah.
Wow. So it was all that time before you went back and
They had sort of crept in a little bit. Like I was in a band with a few people a little bit before that, and they were into that first record a lot. It's funny because these days I actually like Shout at the Devil more because it's more like a metal record and a little bit less. Actually a little less poppy, I think, than that first one. Even though the production's a lot more, professional, even on the Electra version. But yeah, I kind of taught myself in a circle and forgot where I was going with it.
Well, I think the first album's got that poppy but yet punk attitude to it. Like you said, the second record's just. I always thought when I first heard that record, I thought it was different. The sound on the production on it. Mick Mars's guitar tone on that record was amazing.
Yeah,
and that's what hooked me. And then Theater of Pain is like God, it was so thin, the sound on that record, and his guitar sound on that record was terrible. It was like, man, it's like night and day, man. I hate to, keep trashing Theater of Pain because they did eventually turn it around, I think, And I think they've released some really good records past even when Vince came back.
See, I never
kept one of the strange ones that likes Generation Swine.
I never kept up with them much after Girls, to be quite honest. I saw them twice on that tour. What's that, Aaron?
I never bought anything after Theater of Pain. In fact, I never bought that one. I actually have a copy that I sort of got for free, and I've actually never played it. And I've had it for like maybe 15 years. Maybe I'll pull it out and put it on one of these days.
Dude, I want to hear your review of that.
Yeah, maybe I should do that, actually. I haven't heard that record actually since the 80s.
What's that?
I actually haven't listened to that record since the 80s, when it was current. But I've heard the hits since, and I remember smoking in the boys' room well enough. It's just like I've never really been inspired to put that fucking thing back on.
Yeah. Yeah, I always kind of viewed that album as like Kiss's Unmasked, but Theater of Pain and Kiss Unmasked, they both, like, each band was different era, but kind of going for that radio sound, less hard.
Yeah, totally. But Unmasked,
I look back at Unmasked and it's like, that's a damn good album, actually.
Absolutely.
There's a couple killer tracks on there, man.
It's a pop rock album.
Yeah, and I hated it at the time, but now I can totally listen to it.
I didn't. When I was a kid, when it came out, I loved it. I don't know why. I mean, because I was, 3 years in with them at that point. So anything new to me was awesome, Yeah. Then I heard The Elder.
That was kind of the two that ended it.
Yeah.
But now and I think Aaron and I have talked about this, I'll go back and check out The Elder.
Me too.
Times a year. I don't know why. I keep getting drawn back to that stupid album.
Well, The Oath is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I like that album now.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe
as a kid, I was like, what is this?
Yeah, it was too much for us as kids, I guess. I don't know. Do you have
I wanted to know if we preferred the leather mix or the Electra mix of the Motley's Too Fast for Love.
I was getting ready to ask, does either one of you have an actual vinyl of the original leather?
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. I prefer that mix.
You sent me a CD copy of that at one point, but that's all I know of that. I've never had an original, so I couldn't really say one way or the other what I prefer. Well,
the copy I sent you is the leather mix, I think.
Right, but it's.
Do you have the Electra mix?
Yeah, I just have the standard.
There's a couple songs in the Electra mix where Mick Mars's guitar solo comes into the song and pretty much blows your speaker out.
Really?
Yeah, I think it might be Starry Eyes. when he kicks into that solo, it's so fucking loud on the Electra version. They ruined the whole mix of that. I think they ruined the whole attitude of that record.
So you like the leather mix better?
Leather, yeah, because it's straightforward, no
Right.
bullshit, no reverb. They didn't add shit to it like Electra did. I don't know why Electra, they try to make it more radio friendly, I think, but
Right.
They had that
was a
cheering
dumb move.
there. That's my big beat.
What's that?
That those audience sounds and in the breaks and live wire, because that's my favorite song. I can't stand those like cheering. Maybe if I'd heard that first, it wouldn't bother me, but it just seems goofy.
Yeah, that's in the original mix, I think. Yeah. I've always heard that mix, and I guess I remember. Yeah, I mean, I remember the one without the audience tracks in it and stuff. But
do you have an original, Aaron?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a first pressing, but yeah,
that's cool.
But the leather.
Yeah, I just found that when I was living in LA, actually.
Wow, I've never come across one. What's that?
There's 3 different pressings of that first one.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
But I think the very first pressing has a white label with black lettering.
I think the logo is white on the front cover, and then it's red on the other ones, but I don't know beyond that.
Yep, that's right. That too. It's pretty much a black and white cover.
Corey said he'd pay $200 for a third press.
I mean, that's what they're going for.
Wow.
I think so.
Yeah, no, I had 2 copies of it. I let a friend have one. I mean, I sold it to him with some other shit, but
Yeah.
I didn't charge him $200.
No.
I've never come across one, and that's one of those. Every time I see a copy of that album, I always see which pressing it is, and never. Same with what is it? The first Queensryche EP.
Oh yeah. I've never found one of those either.
Me neither.
And they're pretty common.
That one just like fell into my possession. I didn't even really necessarily feel like I deserved that record, but yeah, I was at a record show and made friends with this dude, and he was like, "Oh yeah, here you go," and he wanted like $20 for it. I was like, "Yeah, I'll take that."
Which one? The Queensryche
EP.
No shit.
X or whatever that is. Yeah,
that's cool.
That's probably about the time I first started making videos, actually.
Right
maybe
on.
Earlier, but it was right around then. It was in South Carolina with my dealer friend in Columbia, right, who I talk about from time to time. It was him that put me onto that.
That's cool. Like I said, that's one I always look for. Every time I find one, look for the pressing, and I never come across one. But that reminds me of I have the Sabotage, the first pressing on Par.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Sabotage, yeah. I have one of those too.
Yeah, dude, I came across that down in North Carolina for $10.
That's awesome. I paid more than that for mine, and I've sent away for it. It wasn't like exorbitant like it probably is now, but it's also not in the greatest shape.
Yeah. So, mine's not anywhere near mint or anything, but it's very playable. But the dude was like, $10. I'm like, okay, I'll take that. But it's the same way with you with the Queensryche. You know what I mean? It's like, man, I just kind of fell into this. You know what I
mean? Yeah.
That happened to me with the Sabotage as well, twice.
Really?
That's awesome.
Yeah. Once when I was really young buying records, I just bought it. Like it was in a stack of records at this local place called Plastic Fantastic that actually the owner of the place I work now used to work. And I would go down and ride the train down because it's about 20 minutes driving. So it's about the same on the train. And I would take the train with my buddies every Friday.
Mm-hmm.
We were like 14 years old going down, taking the train to Plastic Fantastic. And Dave would always have a box of metal for us. So, I mean, I pulled that out of there and like early Metal Blade stuff, not knowing what they were. And they were only like, $2 a piece back then or something like that,
Hell yeah.
And I grabbed that one because I like the cover. And a couple other things, and then I didn't realize there was a blue vinyl version of that too. That's really hard to find. So
yeah, that one I've never seen.
Nah, I've never seen that one.
Good on you for sniffing out that Savatage record though with that cover, because that barely looks like a metal cover. I think like sort of like maybe the first Rapid Tears record or something like that too. It's like you look at it, and if you have the Spidey sense, maybe you can tell. But when I was a kid, like looking at that shit, I probably would have gone fucking. It's like some AOR shit or something.
Yeah, I mean, it was just one of those things that Dave always had a box of like, I don't know, 10 or 12 metal LPs in it. And or what he thought was metal anyway. Because, I mean, there was a couple times that I bought, I forget the one band, and they looked metal, but it was like disco or something. I was like, Jesus, this is bad.
Yeah.
I can't remember the band, but.
That's happened here before, too.
Yeah. So it was like, that was in there, grabbed it, and I heard Sirens, and then it dawned on me that I had heard that song before we used to have a local weekly metal radio show on Saturday nights called The Metal Shop. Mm-hmm. And that's where I heard that song on there probably a week or two prior to getting it. So
crazy.
It was weird. But I ended up selling it for a lot of money when I needed the money. So
that still kind of stings, though, doesn't it, when you do that?
It's not as bad nowadays, because I'm on the back end of things now. I think I'm going to start getting rid of a lot of just a shit ton of vinyl at some point.
Really, you getting rid of any metal?
Probably.
I'll
let everybody know.
I keep hounding him.
Yeah.
You probably have it, man.
What's that?
I mean, Greeno probably has whatever you're letting go.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
He's definitely got some stuff I don't have. I remember him showing over the years. I can't name anything off the top of my head right now, but
yeah, no.
He's definitely got some independent stuff that I don't have.
Yeah, it's just been like, I don't know. Looking at the collection now, it's like, what the hell am I going to do with all this shit?
Dude,
you shouldn't let go of it. Seriously.
What's that?
I think you should keep it. I don't think you should let go of it. Sorry.
No,
I'll take some too if you get rid of it. But
I think you should. I mean, what I'm trying to do, because I've been getting rid of stuff too, but I'm trying to weed out down to all killer. You know what I mean?
Well, that's, like I'm not getting rid of the AC/DC stuff.
Right.
Or the Kiss. Well, maybe some of the Kiss stuff, the later stuff, but
Well, so far I haven't touched metal yet. I just been going through, everything else basically.
Yeah.
And I'd like to get down to the point where it's basically just metal and then a few other odds and ends, Yeah,
like I'll keep all my blues records.
Yeah. Same here. But there comes a time like, well, Aaron's been here. This room is full. You know what I mean? It's like I'm never going to be able to listen to all these records again. I have to move some of them that I'm only look cool, and I know I'm never going to listen to again. I need to just move them along. Let somebody.
One of the best things I ever did as far as collecting goes is I quit buying records because they looked cool.
It's so hard, dude.
If it looks like it's a metal record, I'll buy it. Right.
Right.
Especially if I don't have it. But if I see something that looks funny or something like that, I used to always snap that shit up. And now, even if it's a couple bucks, I'm like, no, I don't want it.
Yeah.
It's funny. It made me laugh right now, but that's good.
Yeah, I definitely cut back from buying records.
Same here, man. Big time.
Yeah, I rarely buy doubles too. I actually recently did because I was pissed. Like, there's a copy of Wheels of Steel that was sitting around at the local shop, and it was like $5, and I was like, "This is really fucking cool." And I picked it up and I looked at it. I was like, something? I already have this. Someone's going to come in here and they're going to find this thing for $5, and it's going to make their day. So I'm going to let that person have it.
Right.
I come back and it's still there. I come back and it's still there. I come back and it's still there, and it's like 20% off. I'm like, something? Fuck you. I'm going to take it just because. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to assert a principle here, and I'm trying to articulate it. It actually doesn't make any fucking sense at all.
No, it makes absolute sense.
Like $3,
if you didn't buy this record for $5, go fuck yourself. I'm buying it. You can't have it.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was talking to the people there too. I was like, "You have fucking $5 on this record?" I mean, I'm not the biggest Saxon fan in the world, but that's their best record, man. It's fucking solid, you know. I'm not gonna let it sit there.
It was probably a year ago, 2 years ago. I was walking into a shop, and this young guy comes walking out, and he's carrying Diamond Head. What's the one with the castle on it?
Behold the beginning.
What is it?
Behold the beginning.
That's it. Behold the beginning.
Okay.
And he comes walking out, and I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, fuck, I'm like a half hour too late or something. And then I'm walking in, I'm thinking, you know what? You're an asshole, man, because that young kid just picked up a killer Diamond record, and you have one at home.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need a second copy. But I was still being an asshole walking in going, God damn it, I was like a half hour late to pick that up.
See, I have a problem. I would look at the kid and be like, you know, like it's almost like racial profiling. Like, yo, does that kid deserve that fucking record? Yo, you know what I mean? Like, let me make sure these kids got all his teeth and shit. Yo, turn around, you know.
He was actually looked like he was late teens, long ass hair, halfway down his back, denim jacket.
All right, then he's good.
You know what I mean? So good. But that's there's me being an asshole again. He can have it. He got long hair. He can have it. Yeah. But no, seriously, dude. Thinking about it, it's like, what the hell's wrong with me, man? You know,
that's the collector in you.
Yeah.
I gotta go check my chart flat. I'll be right back.
All right,
man. That's definitely the collector in you.
Yeah, and I'm trying to let some of that go, man. It's like,
I hear you. I gave a bunch of stuff to the store before the holidays. You know, just normal Boston and Cream and, you know, that kind of shit. Like Cream, I'm not a huge fan, so I'll never listen to it again. But when I found it years ago, I was like, oh man, for cheap, you know, you find that shit at a garage sale and it's in good shape for $1.
Yeah,
I'll pick it up. You know,
that's the thing. You and I, you know, and probably Aaron too. We've been doing this so long. A lot of this crap I have so many doubles because I was picking them up for 50 cents, $1 a piece.
That's exactly right.
And you know, but now it's like, and I
don't. Those days are gone.
Yeah, I'm not looking to make money off them, but I'm looking to make space. It's like I need to just move some of this stuff because I don't need 4 copies of this. What do you have, dude? What the hell are you making?
Shit, I'm trying to show it, but I can't really do it. So let me put this down because it's gonna burn my hand over.
What is it? A tartlet?
He's goulash or something. Tartlet. That sounds delicious. I'll have that.
Corey said he wants to come up to your shop, dude.
Oh, anytime.
That'd be cool. Make a video, man.
Absolutely. That smells delicious.
Yeah, that would have been a good one for a cooking video. It's good tartiflette. It's called. I'd never heard of it before either. Actually, it's I got it off that Food Wishes channel actually, but it's a French potato casserole is what it is. Okay, yeah. But what it is it's like potatoes and like bacon and onions and a little creme fraiche and like a reasonably strong cheese. And that's it, and you bake it.
Like the cheese, it smells like the inside of a belly button, or like
what? Yeah, one of those. Now you don't necessarily want a real intense one, but one that kind of like if you just use like a regular like brie or something, it's not gonna penetrate. You know, you want a good one.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
I like that strong shit.
Yeah, I'm not a strong cheese guy. I love cheese, but especially the kind that comes out of a can. I'm a mozzarella guy. I put that on everything. Sliced mozzarella or
nacho cheese. What's the deal with nachos anymore? Anywhere you go, they just put cheddar or something on top. If I'm getting nachos, I want goddamn nacho cheese.
You want a little kick to it.
Yeah.
I want meat and jalapenos. If there's cheese, that's gravy.
Like 7-Eleven sheets, those kind of nachos. You go to a restaurant and they do these frou-frou fucking things. I'm like, nah, keep that shit.
Yeah, I don't eat any of that shit anymore. I haven't for like 4 months now, something like that.
Really?
Oh, I'm down almost 50 pounds.
Hell yeah, dude.
Since, I don't know, I want to say July maybe.
Oh, congratulations.
Wow. Yeah, thanks. That's just, I quit drinking. You know, I used to drink every Friday night, come home from work and drink 6-pack. And the wife would have her glass of wine or two. And just, that was our normal, like, we'll go out, have a couple drinks, and then come home. I'm like, you know, I love beer, but it's like, I'm just so tired of it. So,
yeah. Dude, I haven't drank in 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, back when I had the first thing, the heart thing.
Yeah.
And I stopped drinking Pepsi, and that's how I lost a bunch of weight.
Really?
You start drinking Coke then.
Yeah. Start drinking water. I hardly drink any soda now. I have like
that's all. That's in here, water.
Yeah. But yeah, I lost it all, and over the years, just slowly comes back. So.
Oh yeah.
What can you do?
Well, I told Greeno I started smoking marijuana full time in May. Got my card and everything. So I got bad knees. I need 2 knee replacements. Plus, you know, that packed on the weight too, you know, sitting around doing nothing. Ever since I started smoking every day, knees don't hurt anymore. Dropped like almost 50 pounds. Because it did the opposite for me as far as food goes. You know, it's like everybody says, oh, you'll get the munchies, you'll just constantly eat. So it did the opposite for me.
Wow.
You know, I'll smoke before dinner. I'll eat like a salad. Tonight we had like a big veggie, grilled veggie thing. And I'm good. It's like, what, 8:15 now? It's like now I'd be, before I've been like, let me go get a bowl of ice cream or something. Now, you know, I don't need it. So plus I think the whole mortality thing's starting to kick in for me.
Scary.
It is, because I just turned 48, and 48 was the age my grandfather died.
Oh wow.
And I think I've been dreading 48 for years now, like subconsciously. And now it's like, now that I'm 48, it's like, all right, I got 6 months to go. Let me get to 49, or 7 months to go. But I think that has a lot to do with it too. The whole, all right, man, I'm going to be 50 in a year and a half, and I want to start traveling and doing shit, you know?
Honestly. I hit 50. You're not 50 yet, are you, Aaron? You're about George's age?
Yeah, I'm a little younger, actually.
I was going to say, I think Aaron's probably like 44, 43.
Wow, well, thanks, man. I'm 47, actually.
Oh, you're only a year younger.
Yeah. Maybe not even a full year, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm officially in my 50s.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
God damn. No, I'm just kidding.
Next one will be 51.
Oh, okay.
Wife's home.
Hey.
Hi, Newly.
We dorking it out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Talking about being old metalheads.
Oh, yeah, you're going to be 51 on Friday.
Oh, it's that soon. Wow.
Wow. All right.
Damn, next thing you're going to be 52.
Yeah,
that's what it seems like.
Work. It's so awesome.
Yeah, 30 didn't bother me, 40 didn't bother me, but 50 was a little odd.
Really? I mean, I'm not 50 yet, but I'm not really afraid of it. Like, I thought I would be when I was in my 20s, and it seemed really far away. Now it's like, whatever, you know?
That gets me. You see somebody in their 20s, it's like, you know.
I remember, it's like, I remember that from like wasn't I that 2 weeks ago?
Right, and are you looking at me like I looked at 50-year-old people back then? You know?
Yes,
that's what freaks me out the most. Like I said, I see a picture of my grandfather at like 46, 47 years old, like the year before he died. And he looks like he's in his 60s.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know if they looked older then.
I think so, dude, because like even looking at all of us here, I know we're turning gray and losing the hair and all that crap, but I don't think I look like my father when he was in his 50s. He looked older, you know what I mean? But maybe that's just from perspective, you know, being younger, and now I can't see it. I don't know.
When I see my dad at my age now, we look pretty similar.
Wow.
Yeah, we look pretty similar.
I see my dad and myself every once in a while too, and that kind of freaks me out. Catch yourself in the mirror just right or something. It's like, oh, what was that?
Yeah.
I've noticed that as I get older, my farts sound more like my dad's. That actually freaks me out more in a way. I don't look anything like him, but
I know
I was like, Jesus Christ.
I know my dad ain't watching this. I'll tell that we call it the chicken farter. every time when I was a kid, his mother, my grandmother, she lived by herself about 5 minutes from my house here. And he would come down, and he lived about a half hour away, and he would come down and pick me up on Saturdays. Every Saturday night on the way to his house, we'd stop at my grandmother's house and have dinner with her. And she would every week make homemade fried chicken.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, it was awesome until we were heading that half hour back to my dad's house. Because it was like, no matter summer, winter, fall, it was like, you wouldn't hear anything. You would just get that, oh, dude. Like, it was like rotten ass chicken.
That's awesome.
I think since I hit my 40s, I'm my dad now. Like, that same thing. Fried chicken. I'm like, I'm like, holy shit. I just got a flashback to sitting in the back of my dad's car.
It's that smell flashback. Dad?
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's like, oh no.
I think we've taken a weird turn here. So
that's fun.
Hey, I have a question for Aaron. Somebody posted something the other day. It was a Deep Purple, and you actually mentioned they were like one of your all-time favorite bands.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever recall you touching on that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's hard to pick like a single favorite band, right? Yeah. But if there's one band where I would look back and say that this thing was like a cornerstone of how my musical taste developed, and a band that I still love today as much as I ever have, even though I got into them when I was like 12, it's pretty much Deep Purple. I mean, I still like AC/DC, but I don't love AC/DC the way I did when I first got into them, you know, and there are other bands like that too, even Black Sabbath, you know. But Deep Purple is just the shit, you know. I mean, I think Deep Purple and Rock is a perfect record. And I say that on other records sometimes, but, you know, that's just it, you know. If I were going to pick like one record, that would be it.
Wow. Now, what was the first Deep Purple that you got into?
The first one I ever heard, actually, kind of blew my mind, was a friend of mine had a copy. A friend of mine who commented on one of my videos not long ago, which kind of tripped me out because I haven't seen him since maybe 1990. But yeah, the first one I actually heard was his copy of 24 Karat Purple. Wow. And it seemed like all the best stuff on that at the time was the stuff off Made in Japan from that one. So I went out and bought a copy of Made in Japan.
Now, what year? What year was it?
Maybe 84, 85, something like that. So, yeah, I don't remember exactly. It's all kind of a blur. But, yeah. It was about the time the Perfect Strangers came out, actually.
That's interesting. I think I'm feeding back to somebody. That's interesting because that's when I got into Deep Purple, was Perfect Strangers. I had heard, you know, Smoke on the Water and all that, but I had never went back and checked them out until Perfect Strangers come out. And that album just floored me, man, with the, you know, John Lord more than anything.
Was that that was the Ian Gillan's comeback record, wasn't it?
Right. It was like 84, somewhere around in there, 85.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was kind of hyped as Deep Purple's comeback record. I still think that's the best comeback record like ever. I mean, every song on it is great.
I totally agree, man. And that caused me to go backwards, you know, and it was actually not immediately. Over the next 10 years, I would go back and check out, you know, In Rock and all that. But and that's kind of interesting around the same time frame, but it wasn't Perfect Strangers for you. It was.
Yeah, he had Perfect Strangers too, the same friend, but it took me a while for that one to grow on me a little bit.
Now, how about you?
What's that?
What was the first Deep Purple for you?
That had to be Man, it probably the normal Smoke on the Water is when I first heard them, but I don't think I got into Purple until I heard. I'm more of a Coverdale Deep Purple fan than anything.
I dig that era too.
Probably after 83, 84, 85 until I heard Whitesnake Slide It In is when I went back and listened to the Deep Purple Coverdale stuff. But I was never a big Purple fan.
Huh. Yeah, I did the opposite. I got interested in Whitesnake because of the Deep Purple connection. And then I kind of got over it. And then I was down on Whitesnake for a long time after I got into punk and like hated like the what's that? That pop shit they did in the second half of the 80s, basically. Whitesnake. That was all fucking heinous. And really just within the last several years, I've come back and rediscovered the 70s records, but I still don't really like the 80s ones. Like even the early 80s ones, like what's it called? Saints and Sinners. I had a copy of that for a while. I actually gave it away. I gave it to Ron.
Yeah,
bluesier. Slide It In.
That's one of my favorite ones.
Oh man, that album. Yeah, that's the number one Whitesnake for me.
Yeah.
That's
a great record.
I guess I should say the American version, right? With
I prefer the UK version.
Really?
Yeah.
I like the one with Sykes. So
I like the bluesier vibe to the UK version because I like those earlier Whitesnake records that are basically blues rock albums.
Mm-hmm.
I really dig those records. So Slide It Into Me. When I obviously heard the US version first and then read about in Kerrang or, one of those things a couple years later that there was a different mix or a different version, got the UK version and fell in love with that one.
Huh. So. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't know them before that album. So I heard the Sykes mix.
Right.
And that's what turned me on. And it actually took me a little while to go backwards to check them out, just because what you're saying, they were more bluesy.
Yeah, I mean, that's when I
get that.
That's when I first really heard them was Slide It In, because I think it was MTV or something that I saw that, and that made me go back and buy a couple of the older records. But I like them even more because I've always been in the bluesier style of music. I mean, AC/DC is my favorite band of all time. So they introduced me to so many things as a teenager, like Chuck Berry and Muddy Waters. And, so that's where I'm.
Right.
When you, like Aaron said, I don't think you can have a favorite band. You said that.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick one as your favorite, but.
Yeah, me, like, no brainer for me. Like, AC/DC's always been mine.
Wow.
Always been mine. And
I can't do that either. I'm like Aaron. It's like.
Yeah, but there's bands, right? Like the Wildhearts, that are, I would say, they're one of my favorite bands. Well, who's your favorite band? And I would say AC/DC, but Wildhearts is one of my favorites, like Motorhead and.
Right.
Like Prince.
I can't pick a favorite band, but I can pick a desert discography if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I had to get rid of everything and could only keep the music from one band, it would be the Ramones. And they're not my favorite band. But
that's such a trip to me.
Yeah.
I can listen to the Ramones anytime.
I get that.
I'll be right back.
Okay. And again,
I get that.
I'm not a super fan or anything. It's just, it's what I would keep.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, getting rid of a lot of records. If I can keep under 1,000, well, that'd be great. But I'd like to get rid of more. But I have the whole top shelf in there is AC/DC, so it's like.
Dude, I'd like to just get down around 5,000 or less. If I could just. So.
Yeah.
I think I'm around 12 to 14.
Are you really?
Yeah. and I've gotten rid of a little over 1,000.
Yeah, I think I'm around 7 or 8. And I just got rid of maybe 400.
I don't know, man. It's a struggle. As I first started going through it, it was the doubles. I only need one copy of this, so let's get rid of these 1 or 2 extra I have.
Yeah.
But now I'm through that, and now it's getting harder. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
I purged all the Genesis stuff other than Abacab. When I first joined the VC, it blew my mind how everybody was going crazy over Genesis, all the old stuff from the 70s. And I'm like, I didn't even know anybody liked that stuff, man. Abacab was where I first heard them.
Yeah.
But so I started picking all that stuff up, and I think I pretty much had all the 70s stuff, up through the 80s. And there came a point when it's like, why do I have this? I don't like it. So
those 80s records suck.
Well, I got rid of all the Genesis other than Abacab. That's it. It's the only one I wanted to keep.
I don't think I own any Genesis.
But that blew my mind. I mean, that was one of the first things I noticed in the VC. Like, there was this huge love for early Genesis, 70s.
Dude, we can't keep any of their records in at the shop, the early ones.
Crazy. To me, I mean, I've never had any friends that were fans of them. It was just so odd, It was like
3 years ago, we bought, maybe 2 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago, we bought a collection of audiophile stuff, and the guy had passed away, and his brothers were trying to just get rid of everything. So it took me 2 trips in my car, took Dave a couple trips, and this guy loved Genesis apparently because he had from every country.
Wow.
It was ridiculous how much. I mean, it's like me and my AC/DC stuff, but
yeah.
I was like, holy shit, man, this guy's like, I can't get over how many copies of what's the live album from back, the earlier live record,
Lamb Lies Down.
Genesis Live.
Maybe it's I don't know. I can't remember. But he had like 13 copies of that. Every one of them's gone.
Wow.
They sold as soon as I put a video up, or however I was doing it then. But
now, how far down the Genesis rabbit hole are you, Aaron? I can't remember if you're that into them or not.
When I was in high school, I loved like the early stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The prog stuff, basically. When I kind of got sick of them, when I kind of got sick of like the really English prog, and I was kind of stayed away from all that shit for a while, but I kind of came back to that again a few years ago. Maybe like, I don't know, 5 years ago. So I don't think I have them all at this point, though. I might. I'd have to look, actually. I'm not even sure. I'm pretty sure I don't have Trespass, which is like the first good one, I think. That first one I think is kind of crap. But, and I kind of hear them a little bit differently. Like, I like Nursery Crime more than I ever used to.
Mm-hmm.
This one I don't like at all is The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway.
And that seems to be the one everybody talks about.
Yeah, I kind of think they're full of shit, dude. I think the people go, oh, this is like the magnum opus. This is what I'm supposed to like. I think that there's some suggestion involved there because I just think the songs suck. I mean, maybe I'm being a dick for saying that, but
no, you're not.
I'll sleep okay tonight.
You're allowed to have that opinion,
dude.
It's
tried.
Just the songs. Just I tried, man. I listened to that. I remember driving to Boston one time. I had that on tape. I was borrowing something. I listened to it all the way through a few times. I'm like, man, this just sucks.
Yeah.
Like, it has its moments. It's not terrible, but it's way too long, and it's just boring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, that's the cardinal sin, is it's boring.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Like I said, I tried with all that stuff. It's like, what am I not getting that everybody else is getting? It finally came to the conclusion, there's nothing here for me to get. So
yeah.
I let it all go, other than the Poppy Abacab. I liked that album as a kid. And that's probably the only reason I still kept that one.
Does that if like when the Phil Collins stuff started taking off?
Yeah, the MTV years, whenever they hit there,
Yeah.
So and I think I got that on cassette from like Columbia House or something.
Awesome.
Either that or that may have came in I traded a bunch of firecrackers to a kid when I was young. Dude, I ended up with like Eagles Live and all kind of shit. My mom's like, "What did you do?" I said, "I traded firecrackers for all these cassettes." She's like, I hope you don't get him in trouble. It's like, I don't.
Where'd you get the firecrackers?
Huh?
Where'd you get the firecrackers?
My dad.
I've been looking for you all these years.
Yeah.
I finally found you.
My dad used to buy garbage bags of fireworks in another state and bring them in to his friends and sell some, you know what I mean? And he always had them laying around. So
Black cats or whatever they're called.
Dude, he had everything. Everything.
They were the big ones. They were the smallest ones when we were kids, right? Were black cats?
Yeah, I think so. And he had remember the little lady finger ones that were real tiny? It came in like a strip about that long.
That's them.
You could actually hold them in your hand and let them go off. They were so.
Oh, no. Black cats will blow your finger off.
No, those were, yeah. But now I remember taking a bunch of those, trade them for, that was probably my first music trade. Got some cassettes, some fireworks. I was probably 10, 11.
I was
That's
like
awesome.
that with comic books and anything Star Wars.
Really?
Oh my God, dude. When Star Wars first came out, I was hooked.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I still, to this day, I wish I had even half the toys I had from when I was a kid.
Yeah. Now, are you keeping up on Star Wars, Aaron? Are you watching the new movies or anything?
Oh, I can't not watch the movies, I haven't seen the new one yet, though. And I've heard it was kind of disappointing. I'm still going to go see it eventually,
We both.
It all depends what you saw in The Last Jedi.
What did I think about that one? I think this whole last trilogy just feels like a knockoff of the earlier shit. They just set up the same characters and the same shit.
I agree too.
Yep.
And I mean, that's what I heard about the last one, is that they just sort of doubled down on that even more, But it just seems obvious. I mean, honestly, I think it's kind of cynical, especially given how in that first one they pandered towards people like us with the references to the original trilogy,
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter, it's like I'll still sit back and just take it for what it is. And
well, that's kind of what George and I were talking about. We talked about the movie when they were like, what else are they kind of going to do? Because we were talking about, what was it, fan service, George?
I mean, the new movie's total fan service.
It's like, okay, isn't that what a movie's supposed to do? Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to satisfy the fans and all that. It's like, I don't know what people wanted from these movies.
Well, I know exactly. I watched it again. Greeno. Did you ever go a second time?
No, we still haven't made it for the second viewing.
Right.
So what are you on, 4 or 5?
you plan to go.
What's that?
But you plan to go a second time.
Oh yeah, we're going to go eventually, hopefully.
I'm on 5 because that's just the way I am with Star Wars. But
right.
Now this week it broke, the big rumor this week is the DVD Blu-ray is going to be the actual J.J. Abrams cut of the film.
Really?
Because apparently, and this was in the news thing cycle maybe a week ago, that when he went in to see the screener of the actual film, it was cut by 28 minutes or something like that.
Wow. So Disney did something to it without him?
Yeah. That's what they're saying.
Huh.
But he was pissed.
Right.
And now if you watch the movie, all the cuts and stuff, they're explaining in some of this extended footage there's more dialogue that makes shit make sense a little more, but We'll see what happens. It's Disney, so they'll probably put exactly what came out in the theater.
Right. I was happy with it. I mean, I know a lot of people weren't, but
I was, but I thought it was short. Like, because I was expecting a 3-hour movie, reading about this 3-hour movie for 6 months.
Or was it 2.5?
It was 2:21.
Hmm.
And that's shorter than the last two, you know. Last Jedi, I think, was 2.5, 2:34, something like that.
Right.
And the first one was probably around 2:25, something. But that felt like a 90-minute movie. This felt like a 90-minute movie because so much was going on and the fan service. Last Jedi, I've watched it a couple more times before this. I went to see this one, and I think I told you, Greeno, I like it a lot better now.
Right.
Except for a couple key story that I didn't like. But other than that, I thought it was a decent film.
We went yesterday, the wife and I, to we have an Alamo here. They were showing the Goonies. So,
oh man, another one of my favorites.
It was awesome.
I would love that Alamo on big screen again.
They're all over the country. I think there's not like a ton of them, but we have one down. Yeah, it's about 40 minutes or half hour south of us. We go down there every once in a while. And actually, I got tickets for 2 weeks from now. The original black and white Godzilla.
Oh, you told me about that. Yeah,
I'm excited for that one. To see it on the big screen.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to go to the Alamo Draft House all the time when I lived in Austin 20 years ago now, when Spencer was born. But yeah, when I saw that they like branched out, I was surprised.
Yeah, we've had this for 10 years, maybe. About 10 years ago, I guess they built it. So, yeah. It's pretty cool. To be quite honest, I would love for them to show more of these old movies like this. You know, I mean, they do probably 4 or 5 old movies. Like they're showing Xanadu. Like, who the fuck's going to go see Xanadu? But I guess they are. You know, the old living.
I would go see Xanadu.
But that's all I used to go see there. The first movie I saw there, I think, was Scanners. And like,
yeah, I like that film.
I love it. It's one of my, but this was like 2001, maybe early, you know. So it's not like it was new, right? Yeah, and they had a series for a while where they showed, they showed bullshit movies at midnight on Wednesdays, and it was free, and you just pay for a beer or two, and that was it, you know.
Yeah.
I saw the Bird with the Crystal Plumage at one of those, and Mr. Scarface. I'll bet Greeno's seen that.
What is it, Mr. Scarface?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've seen that.
It's a bullshit Italian movie, like some gangsters. It's awesome.
Good.
Yeah, and then what else? Oh, and the Cannibal Film Festival I went to too.
Oh, Jesus. Somebody's reissuing a bunch of old cannibal movies.
Yeah,
I've never seen any of those, but I was reading up on some of them. And it's like, holy
later, Corey. Corey's taking off.
Later, brother.
You, man.
Speaking of movies, I watched this week. Just got this on Blu-ray.
See, I don't collect Blu-rays either, man. I only collect records.
I'm down to pretty much records and movies, and just old movies. We don't buy too much new stuff, but I did buy this new. Have you seen this? The Dead Don't Die. It's from last year.
Yeah,
Bill
Murray.
Dude, it's pretty good.
Is that the one? That's the one with Bill Murray and
what's his name from Star Wars?
Yeah, Kylo Ren.
You ought to check this out, Aaron. It's pretty funny.
All right, I will. It's an easy title to remember.
What's that?
It's an easy title to remember.
Yeah, it's odd, man. Like the coolest thing I thought was the this chick.
Hold on.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
What her whole storyline and how it wraps up is like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like,
it was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was awesome, but like, what the hell was all that? You know what I mean? Yeah, and Iggy Pop's in it, like Eric said there. He plays one of the zombies.
That's right.
Yeah. And I picked up second season of the Orville. If you guys watch this,
I haven't even heard of that.
That's
dude.
It's from South Park, right?
Yeah. What the hell is his name?
South Park, Family Guy.
Family Guy. This is basically, he started doing this, and if you like Star Trek Next Generation, this is basically his love letter to that, but with humor in it. Like you could be watching it and it's got some really funny parts, and then the next thing you know, it's like really hardcore sci-fi stuff. It's like, you know, how are they going to get out of this? What the hell's going on? You know what I mean? I think this is a great show, and it got moved from Fox to Hulu, I think, or something like that. Which
it's a pretty decent show. I didn't watch a lot of it, but I thought it was pretty fun.
I dig it, man. I mean, I watched both seasons on when they come on, but I've been picking them up on DVD because I figure it's kind of like an obscurity. I think it's going to end up fading away, and you won't be able to watch it anywhere.
I know Greeno won't. I picked up The Joker.
Did you?
Watch that.
I haven't watched it.
It's amazing, man.
Not going to.
That's crazy.
I know, huge comic book guy, and that movie, something about that movie turns me off. I just don't want to watch it.
I know. That's what you said before.
What's that?
I kind of want to see that. I'm going to watch that at some point, most likely.
Everybody I've talked to said they love it, man. I mean, but I just
it's different.
Dude, I get that. That's what I felt about Office Space, man. Everyone said that was so good. And I was like, I'm not going to sit there and watch a fucking movie about work on my own time. So I ended up watching it at work. So I was like, okay, I'll do this.
Yeah, I've only seen clips of that. I've never watched that whole movie.
Well, if you've seen clips, you've probably seen all you need to see. It's kind of made for clips in a way.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, I've been watching fucking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
What is that?
Brando and shit. It's like some Japanese fucking comic about like these like two brothers, and one of them's like a vampire and super evil, and like Spencer started watching it actually, and he was like, "Yeah, it's gratuitously violent." He was like, "It's crazy." Like the guy gets fucking cut in half and shit. Jesus Christ.
Huh.
So yeah, I've been digging that for the last couple of days. It's funny. I can't remember the last time I watched a cartoon, but I'm all over this.
Right on. No, what's that on? Just internet or
Netflix?
Oh, okay.
That's something I would enjoy.
Huh.
Yeah, all the characters have these fucking like music names too. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. Like the guy's name was Dio, right? So I was like, yeah, well, whatever. But like, then this fucking oh, I'm trying to remember now. Like, there's a fucking guy named Tom Petty. It's Npeti, but it's like really obvious. And then like he meets these two guys, and one of them's named Dyer, and the other's named Straits. Oh yeah, there's a guy whose name is like Robert. Yeah, Robert E.O. Speedwagon.
Nice.
Like, it's not even like subtle. It's really.
Well, I might have checked that out.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome. I mean, if you don't stick with it, I won't really blame you, but it's pretty awesome. Yeah, I haven't seen the video games. I'm not surprised to hear about the video games. Chris is talking about that in the chat. So, yeah, that might be sort of connected. It's funny because I kind of found out about this because of a streamer that I watch with Spencer, you know? And this guy's like obsessed with like, I mean, he talks about a lot of shit, but Dio is one of these characters that kind of comes up over and over. Dio, and at first I was like, and the guy's into metal, so I was like, wait, that's not Dio. Oh, Dio Brando. Okay, so now I'm finally watching the thing. It's like, oh shit, okay.
Now, either one of you watched What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show?
No.
Have you seen the movie?
I saw the movie. Yeah,
the movie's fantastic. I thought, just ridiculous, but I watched the first episode of the TV show, and it was like, it wasn't enough to bring me back.
No, I didn't even realize I remember reading about the TV show, but I didn't even realize it was out yet.
Have you ever seen the movie, Aaron?
No.
It's a what do they call these? Reality show about vampires.
It's like the Jersey Shore for vampires.
Yeah, it's basically these vampires that live together, and they're doing this reality show about them, and it's just utterly ridiculous. I mean, it's pretty good, but the TV show, I don't know, it just didn't pull it off. The best part of the movie is the ancient one, the old one, the one that's remember that, George, where he's down in the basement in the coffin.
Yeah,
the one dude goes down to wake him up, and he looks like Nosferatu or whatever, like the
original.
Old, yeah, it's pretty good, but they don't pull it off in the TV show. The TV show totally looks different, but the movie's worth checking out if you haven't seen them.
That's one film. Nosferatu is one film that I would love to see remade now, but like with that atmosphere of the original, because the original is a silent film, right?
Right.
I don't know if you could do it, man. Because it's a silent film, it's just different. I think I was really into silent movies for a while. I kind of feel like that's almost, well, let me take a step back. I found those things as hard to watch as everyone else always does until I stopped looking at them as movies and just looked at them as this completely separate art form. I was like, I'm going to dig this totally on its own terms and separate it from everything from 1927 on or whatever,
Right.
And then I sort of got my head around it. And I don't think you could do it, especially because of all that weird German expressionism in there too, it would be hard to remake, like a Lon Chaney movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's just different. But I think you could pull off something like The Unknown or, what's the one I'm trying to think of? The Penalty or something like that. If you really did it right. Actually, The Penalty would suck because they'd take the legs off with CGI or something, right? But Nosferatu is just too weird. Like that one or like The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Now, what's the closest vampire to that would have been what, Salem's Lot? They kind of
I think so. Look wise, yeah.
Yeah, they kind of use that.
That's why I should say I want to see like that version of a vampire on screen. In a good dark horror film. Nothing campy or goofy, but like something pretty wicked.
I was never watching vampire movies, so I probably shouldn't even opine. Like if someone catered to me and I didn't go see it anyway, I'd kind of be a dick for that. So.
Dude, speaking of silent movies, what's the Charlie Chaplin, The Kid?
The Kid.
Yeah, I've never seen that. But do you know who The Kid is?
I don't think so.
I do. Wait, give me a second.
This is deep. Can he pull it out? I just found this out. I had no idea.
I forget. I'm going to kick myself once you say it, though.
It's Uncle Fester from the
That's it. God damn it. I just watched a biography on the actor.
Really?
Yes. Maybe a week and a half ago.
Yeah. Well, that sounds interesting. Well, I saw somebody posted a picture of Uncle Fester in some horror sci-fi group I'm in on Facebook. And then in the comments, somebody posted a picture of Charlie Chaplin and The Kid. And I'm like, what the hell's that? And then somebody was like, yeah, that was him as a kid. He was in that silent movie. It's like, how crazy is that? I never knew that. That's
he was on like the Brady Bunch for an episode, and
yeah, they were saying he did a bunch of oddball TV stuff, just like one episode here and there and that kind of thing.
He was a huge kid star, like really good looking, for a kid star. And as he got older in his late teens, early 20s, he wasn't getting roles, obviously. And he ballooned up and got the Uncle Fester role, and that was that.
What he's known for most probably.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think he had a rough end of life from what I remember. He had some pretty down, he was pretty down and out, maybe, if I'm thinking of the correct one.
Yeah. Well, this kind of just went everywhere tonight.
I like it. I like that whole.
What's that, Aaron?
We barely talked about music. I think it's
No doubt. That's what
I know.
maybe we'll have to do this again and try and stay on music. But it was cool. I mean, it's people that
I
have
just like shooting the shit, even if we talk about like farting or something. You know? It's just like just to shoot the shit with a couple of more adults is a good thing for me right now. So
yeah.
It's people probably watch this forever.
it came.
Just hear us bullshit. So
Dude,
what?
I just ordered this today for my son's turntable.
It's just already.
Here, hold on. All right.
And you already have it?
Dude, I ordered it on Amazon for him because I have at the shop, but they're a little more expensive.
Uh-huh.
And we just gave him a turntable and speakers and shit. And I said, all right, I'll order one for you on, what was that, 4 o'clock this afternoon? And
Get out of
it
here.
showed up.
Wow.
Wow, dude.
That's weird, man. It's like
That is
drone.
weird.
Amazon, they know you, dude. They're already shipping shit before you
I
click.
can't believe this is here already. What time is it? 9? Almost 9. So like 5 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Wow, Dad, will you help me after that?
I will, yeah.
All right.
God damn.
So yeah, man. I mean, we'll do this again down the road. And
Absolutely.
stick on to a subject a little longer. It was cool, just bullshit. And like I said, everybody's watched us talk about music and shit forever. So
Yeah. Like I said, I just like shooting the shit.
Oh yeah, I'm not
Talk about
complaining.
whatever.
I feel a little bad eating in front of you, but I'm sitting here smelling it. I couldn't wait.
don't worry. So-
Right on,
It was
fella.
really good.
Yeah, it's Corey said it smelled good.
Yeah.
Somewhere up in there. So yeah, we'll definitely do this again. Maybe
Yeah,
see
absolutely.
who our next victim will be on here. Maybe Corey, since he popped in. See if we can nail him down for a show.
Yeah, we could
Awesome.
do.
Dad, Mike said he's gonna help me.
All right, Bubba. We could do up to 4, I think.
Dude, I think you can do up to 6.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Fuck.
Amazing.
Well, I think that night is the night, like for after a year, we'll get like 6 of us on here, but we all have to like drink Jack and Cokes.
You won't be able to hear anything, man. I'll just be like yelling and
You know what we could actually do, man, is just send out an email to 5 or 6 people, and whoever shows up that night where we're doing it,
That's perfect.
you know what I mean? So
We all should just get together and a live fucking stream, the 3 of us like in the same room.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got to get back up to see you, dude. It's been a while since we saw each other in person. Well, it's been 2 years, Aaron, probably since you were here.
I think it's been more than that.
Wow.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Greeno's last video was over 2 years ago on that.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's probably been 3 or 4 years.
I remember that video, yeah.
Dude, how long? It's so crazy that what did we all start? I started around 2011, 2012 doing
I
these,
started a year after you did, I think.
and Aaron was about the same time as you, I think.
Really?
I think Aaron was right before me.
Okay.
Really? That's funny. I thought you were on first, George.
Maybe.
I think I'm in 2014.
I kind of I don't know why I remember watching like his metal LPs and stuff early on, but I don't know. But it's been probably what I say 7.5 now. It's probably going on 8 years.
That's nuts. Because I remember when Aaron first started, you were kind of like, I don't know, you were kind of like reaching out to a couple of us and timid starting, and then you just took off, man. You know.
Yeah.
I remember everybody was trying to get a hold of me on like emails, and back then they had like private messages, I think, on.
Yeah.
I could never find like, and then I finally email from Greeno saying, Yo, did you sent that message I sent you? I'm like, I can't find it on here. I don't know how to do it. And I think they just did away with it altogether. So
Can you not do that anymore? There's no PMing and wow.
I don't know. I was never good at, I had people saying that they private messaged me on there and I could never find it, or I would never get, the whatever, the bell
Notification.
Yeah, notification.
Yeah. Because right towards the end of when I was making videos, I was having trouble finding that stuff on the,
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I asked you a couple times how to get to messages on there.
Huh. But the first ones I came across was Lazarus. I see he's back doing some stuff.
Yeah, I saw him early on too.
Yeah. And then LJ was early. And there was a dude named Dan from Canada, I think. But he wasn't a metal guy, but he would show a little bit of metal.
I remember hearing about him, but I never saw him.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about, but I never saw one of his videos.
He's the one turned me on to Ghost. That was why I picked up Ghost, was seeing one of his videos. But that was kind of it. And I remember talking to LJ and then a couple of the other guys that weren't metal.
Yeah.
And then I went ahead and jumped in,
I think you or LJ was the first ones that contacted me, or I contacted you, and then it took off from there. Then we were sending that first year. I remember we were sending each other pictures via text message of our turkeys in the oven.
I remember that.
Yeah. Remember LJ was cooking his outside.
Yeah. He had a 2x4 shoved through it.
Yes. That was the first year that we all got together, I think.
Right.
Awesome.
But we were finding all the metal guys, and it ended up being this group, and everybody was getting together. And that's about the time Aaron come in, and Scott was coming in. Corey was coming in. Renee.
Yeah, Corey was there already, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Corey started before me, and Renee too.
Yeah, Corey. I remember, I think I would watch his record store tour things that he did. That's the same Corey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I remember Zeke Geek coming in. I remember he was his deal was to find cheap records. It didn't matter. He just wanted records to listen to. And it was so cool to watch him progress to where he was buying like crazy obscure 70s stuff, you know what I mean? To where when he first started, it seemed like he was looking for the cheaper, dollar finds. And now that dude's got a hell of a collection,
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's
cool. Has anybody heard from Garen? I don't see him post anymore. He was the older guy in Kansas City, right? Not Garner, but Garen.
I haven't heard from him. No.
Just wonder how he's doing, because I know he was older and I know he had some health issues.
Well, there was a guy in Canada like that too. I used to watch.
What was his name?
I can't remember, but I think a lot of his records were in the basement.
Yep.
And he would. You don't think of Otavio, are you?
What was his username?
Guess I'm just a spud boy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's him.
Is he still around?
He's long gone. He took all his shit down too. I wish he had at least left his old shit up, because that was a good channel.
Yeah.
That's what I hate when people, like when I left my shit up and I'm not taking it down. You know what I mean? I mean, leave it up. Yeah. What's the point?
Maybe did he plan on leaving, or maybe I hope something didn't happen, or
He made a last video. I mean, it wasn't like a classic rage quit. Those are always entertaining. It wasn't one of those, but
It's like John Punk Texas. Do you remember him?
Yes.
He just kind of, and he was an early VC.
I would watch his garage sale.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, fuck.
Yeah.
What's in that box? Like, go back. I wish this was live. I could call you and go tell you to go back and just
no doubt, man. Him and was it Mr. Hall of Fame? Were
he just uploaded a new video today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But I think they were pretty damn
early. They were before I did.
Yeah.
For sure.
I loved Punk Texas stuff.
I did too, man, because he would show equipment.
Yeah.
Crazy equipment too.
And a crazy Saxon dude.
Oh my God, that's right.
He sent me a couple newer Saxon albums just out of the blue. And I'm like, dude, thanks so much. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I sent him my, damn, I can't remember what Saxon album it was for, but it was like an uncut cover. I came across somewhere. Yeah, it was like where it had been printed out, but hadn't been cut and put together and all that. I think that's what it was. Sent that to him, and he was pretty happy with that. Huh. But man, he just kind of disappeared too, you know?
Wow.
And I try and look at the BC occasionally now, and it's like, I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, I know.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
What's up? We're about done.
I don't care.
She really does not care. She's like my wife. She could give, you know how many fucks she has to give? None. Zero.
Zero fucks.
Yeah. She's like, fuck you guys. I'm out of here.
Make a bear watching football. Deuces in the air.
My wife goes, all right, I hear you're doing a podcast, so I think you should go. I'm going to go take a shower and go to bed. All right, cool. Well, right on, guys.
Somebody here says Punk Texas still post comments.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't made any videos for him to comment on my channel, so.
John, if you see this, put up a video, dude.
Yeah.
Of you roaming around Texas looking at shit. Those were the best videos. And he had a killer basement with all this stuff. So.
That's awesome. Well, at least he's doing okay, I guess.
Yeah, that's good to hear. All right, so I guess we're going to wrap it up.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for joining, Aaron.
Yeah, it was cool.
Thanks for having me. It's been a lot of fun.
Maybe next time we'll talk about music.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, maybe not.
So we learned about George's flatulence.
That about
what Aaron.
I gotta be honest. That I gotta blame my pop on that.
Give props where props are due.
Yeah, like father, like son.
All right, guys. I guess we're out of here.
All right, my brothers. I'll talk to you soon.
Later.
All right. Thanks again.
Everybody. Thanks. Anybody watching, click that thumbs up button, subscribe, do all that horse shit. So we'll talk to y'all soon.
Horse shit.
Peace.
Awesome.